Often, when you think of construction, you think of large skyscrapers, superstructures like the Hoover Dam, interstate highways, or residential construction, including timber and concrete masonry work. In this short video, we'll explore the history of concrete masonry construction, current processes, and how it's tracked, and where it's going. Today, on how it's done. Brick masonry construction could be traced back to as early as 7000 BC, as brick walls were discovered around the city of Jericho. For centuries, bricks were handmade using clay, straw, and other materials, though some cultures still use that today. Ancient Romans capitalized on the process of making, storing, and selling bricks. Their structures are still considered to be modern marvels. Now, did you know that in 1913, during the resurfacing of Buckingham Palace, Daniel David Jones came up with the idea of using steel couplers with scaffolding? This invention revolutionized scaffolding, making it safer and more predictable.
All right, here are some of the standards and specifications for masonry. As you'll see, they range from mortar to different types of bricks. There are about 100 different standards and specifications on the ASTM page, but we chose the ones that were the most relevant to our project. All right, so an interesting process fact about masonry is that concrete masonry units have an advantage over bricks because they can be filled with rebar or concrete and or rebar to reinforce them. On the left, we have CMUs just reinforced with rebar, and on the left we have CMUs reinforced, or on the right we have CMUs reinforced with concrete and rebar. All right, here's the process narrative that we took during our site visit. So a layer of bricks is called a course. As you'll see, they're putting a course down right now. And then the pattern that those courses make is called a bond. Above, we have some pictures of bonds. We have English bond, stretcher bond, Flemish bond, and header bond. There's also a running bond. And then as you'll see there, the worker was cutting the bricks in half, and there are many different types of brick styles that you can get from breaking them.
To get all of this done, we need to follow a process. Here's the process model for our masonry that we saw on site. If you look at the center, we have the resupply stack that needs to be loaded with mortar and also brick. On the top left corner, you can see the process for the mortar being reloaded, having the mixer be idle and also the supervisor be idle, alternating until we can resupply the mortar. On the bottom left, we have the bricks also being loaded. And then once they're all resupplied and the mason is able to remove the packet, his position becomes available and occupied whether or not he's doing this, and then he's able to lay the brick. On site, we watched 2 workers and a supervisor from 0 to 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Throughout this time, workers 1 and 2 were doing something during the whole 15-minute period. The supervisor, however, was busy probably doing something else in the 2-minute to 6 or 7-minute frame, and also the 11-minute frame. Overall, we had an effectiveness of 84%. There are some safety risks that happen when working on a masonry project. Some of them include tasks that are specific due to inexperience, slips, trips, and falls, and also things falling off an edge. Some of the ways you can reduce these risks are training all of your workers and everyone on site properly, having proper railings and harnesses for everything needed, and then making sure that there are things to catch falling items, such as bricks that could land on a worker down below. As you saw before, our effectiveness was at 84%. However, this could be drastically improved, maybe even to 100% in the future with some of these technologies, such as this robot, which is a bricklaying robot. Who knows what is to come, but hopefully masonry in the future will continue to be improved on. And that is how it's done. Thank you.